Which old Hollywood marriage collapsed because of a secret midnight visit through a studio back door? Which glamorous couple pretended to be happy on screen while fighting betrayal off screen? And which iconic star committed the affair that became Hollywood's most famous scandal ever? Today, we're counting down 20 old Hollywood affairs that destroyed marriages. Stories packed with forbidden romance, studio cover-ups, secret love letters, and affairs so explosive they reshaped Hollywood forever. 1. Elizabeth Taylor, Eddie Fisher, and Debbie Reynolds. This remains the most infamous affair in old Hollywood history. Debbie Reynolds and Eddie Fisher were America's sweetheart couple. Picture perfect, adored, untouchable. But behind the glamorous studio photos, their marriage was already straining. Then came Elizabeth Taylor. Still grieving the sudden death of her husband Mike Todd, Taylor leaned on Eddie Fisher for comfort. But that comfort transformed into a full-blown affair. Debbie discovered the betrayal through whispers in the industry, then through headlines that spread across the world. Eddie left Debbie for Elizabeth, destroying 2 marriages in a single decision. The scandal nearly destroyed all 3 careers, yet it solidified Elizabeth Taylor's reputation as Hollywood's most dangerous heartbreaker. 2. Elizabeth Taylor and Richard Burton. Elizabeth Taylor appears again, because no one in Hollywood created chaos like she did. While filming Cleopatra, she and Richard Burton began an affair so passionate and public that the Vatican condemned it. Both were married, Taylor to Eddie Fisher, Burton to Sybil Williams, but on the Cleopatra set, they became inseparable. Meetings turned into secret hotel visits, and soon the world's press circled like sharks. Their affair destroyed both marriages and ignited a romance so volatile that they married twice and divorced twice. The scandal was so massive, it reshaped paparazzi culture, studio contracts, and the public's obsession with celebrity couples. 3. Ingrid Bergman and Roberto Rossellini. Ingrid Bergman was Hollywood royalty, elegant, respected, adored, but during the filming of Stromboli with Italian director Roberto Rossellini, she began an affair that shook the world. Bergman was married, Rossellini was married, and when Bergman became pregnant, the scandal erupted into international outrage. She was banned from major studios. U.S. senators called her a powerful influence for evil. Her husband divorced her, and Hollywood acted as if she had committed a crime. Yet Bergman chose Rossellini and their child over her reputation, becoming an early example of a woman refusing to let Hollywood dictate her personal life. If you're loving these shocking revelations, hit subscribe. I expose Hollywood's darkest secrets every week, and trust me, what's coming next will blow your mind. 4. Marilyn Monroe and Joe DiMaggio's collapse. Their marriage looked iconic. Baseball legend Joe DiMaggio and Hollywood's most glamorous star Marilyn Monroe. But behind the dazzling photos was jealousy, rage, and explosive arguments. DiMaggio was furious about Marilyn's rising fame and uncomfortable with her public image, especially during the famous white dress subway scene from The 7-Year Itch. Rumors of Marilyn's affairs, including whispers involving her co-stars, only fueled the tension. Their marriage deteriorated in months, ending with Marilyn filing for divorce. Though they reconciled as friends years later, the damage was irreversible. Their marriage didn't just break under pressure, it shattered under the weight of fame, insecurity, and temptation. 5. Frank Sinatra and Ava Gardner. Frank Sinatra left his wife Nancy for the explosive, intoxicating Ava Gardner, one of the most beautiful actresses of her time. But their passion burned too hot. Gardner and Sinatra fought constantly, fueled by jealousy, drinking, and Sinatra's suspected affairs. Their romance was more like a storm than a marriage, volatile, unpredictable, and impossible to control. Sinatra's career plummeted in the scandal's aftermath, and studios questioned whether he'd ever recover. Ava once said their love was like a raw nerve, beautiful and doomed. They divorced after years of chaos, but never truly got over each other. It was old Hollywood's most self-destructive love story. 6. Clark Gable and Carole Lombard. Before their marriage became a Hollywood fairy tale, Clark Gable and Carole Lombard's relationship began with scandal. Gable was married to Maria Langham when he met Lombard. Their chemistry was instant and overwhelming. Studio heads tried to keep the affair quiet, but Hollywood insiders already knew. To dissolve his marriage, MGM allegedly helped fund Gable's divorce so he could publicly legitimize his relationship with Lombard. Their affair destroyed his previous marriage but birthed one of Hollywood's most iconic romances, tragically ending when Lombard died in a plane crash, leaving Gable devastated for the rest of his life. Can you believe this betrayal? Subscribe so you never miss when I uncover the next celebrity scandal that rocks the world. 7. Charlie Chaplin and Lita Grey. Charlie Chaplin was a comedic genius and a magnet for scandal. His affair with underage actress Lita Gray became one of the most controversial episodes in Hollywood history. Gray became pregnant at 16, forcing Chaplin into a secretive and rushed marriage to avoid statutory charges. Their marriage collapsed quickly, filled with accusations, jealousy, and Chaplin's ongoing affairs with other young women. The divorce trial became a Hollywood circus, exposing Chaplin's private life in humiliating detail. The scandal almost destroyed his career, reinforcing his reputation as both brilliant and deeply troubled in his relationships. 8. Humphrey Bogart and Lauren Bacall. Bogart was married when he met 19-year-old Lauren Bacall on the set of To Have and Have Not. Their chemistry was electric and impossible for either to hide. Their affair was quiet but intense, unfolding during shoots, rehearsals, and late-night studio visits. Bogart's wife, Mayo Methot, was volatile and suspected everything, leading to violent arguments that became industry legend. Bogart eventually divorced Methot and married Bacall, beginning one of Hollywood's most respected partnerships. But their love story started with betrayal, scandal, and a broken marriage left behind. 9. Spencer Tracy and Katharine Hepburn. Their affair lasted 26 years, but Tracy remained married the entire time. Katharine Hepburn and Spencer Tracy met on set in 1941 and formed an instant connection. Tracy, a devout Catholic, refused divorce, yet lived separately from his wife. Hepburn stayed by his side, even stepping back from her career to support him through alcoholism and ill health. Their love affair became Hollywood's worst-kept secret. Everyone knew, but no one acknowledged it publicly. When Tracy died, Hepburn didn't attend the funeral, respecting the wife who had remained on paper, but not in his heart. 10. Lana Turner and Johnny Stompanato. Lana Turner's affair with mobster Johnny Stompanato remains one of the darkest scandals in Hollywood history. Their relationship was violent and chaotic, filled with jealousy and public fights. Turner tried ending it multiple times, but Stompanato threatened her, stalked her, and confronted her on film sets. The scandal turned tragic when Turner's daughter Cheryl killed Stompanato while defending her mother during a violent argument. The tabloids exploded, the studios panicked, and Turner's marriage and reputation were shattered. It remains one of Hollywood's most devastating domestic scandals. We're just getting started. The final scandals are absolutely jaw-dropping. Subscribe now because next week's video reveals an affair that destroyed Hollywood's most powerful couple. 11. Vivien Leigh and Laurence Olivier. Vivien Leigh and Laurence Olivier were old Hollywood royalty, but their romance began with betrayal. Both were married when they met, but their connection was immediate and overpowering. They began a passionate affair while performing together, leaving their spouses for each other. However, their marriage eventually dissolved under the weight of Leigh's declining mental health and Olivier's growing frustration. Both had affairs later, but the damage had been done long before the divorce. Their relationship began in fire and ended in heartbreak, a masterpiece of passion and tragedy. 12. Rita Hayworth and Ali Khan. While filming and traveling internationally, Rita Hayworth met Prince Ali Khan, a charming, wealthy playboy. Their whirlwind affair began while she was still married to Orson Welles. Their chemistry was undeniable, but the press savaged Hayworth for leaving Welles and Hollywood for royalty. Their marriage later dissolved due to Ali's cheating, turning the glamorous fairy tale into a nightmare. It was a scandal that followed Hayworth for the rest of her life, overshadowing her film career. 13. Judy Garland and David Rose. Judy Garland's first marriage crumbled when she fell in love with bandleader David Rose. Their relationship began as an affair, hidden by studio executives who feared public backlash. When they finally married, the relationship proved fragile, filled with arguments, career tension, and emotional strain. Their affair destroyed Garland's earlier marriage and fed the tabloids that followed her relentlessly for decades. Garland's turbulent love life became a permanent part of her tragic Hollywood legend. 14. Errol Flynn and Lily Demita collapse. Errol Flynn was Hollywood's original bad boy, and his infidelity was legendary. His marriage to actress Lily Demita fell apart because of his constant affairs with chorus girls, co-stars, and young admirers. Demita filed for divorce, accusing Flynn of serial cheating and extreme cruelty. The scandal exploded when Flynn was later tried for statutory assault. Though acquitted, his reputation never recovered. Their marriage remains one of Hollywood's earliest examples of a star unable to control fame, temptation, or personal chaos. 15. Rock Hudson and Phyllis Gates. Rock Hudson married Phyllis Gates in what many believe was a studio-arranged marriage to hide Hudson's sexuality. But Gates later accused Hudson of emotional betrayal, alleged affairs, and living a double life. The marriage disintegrated quickly, And Gates claimed she discovered Hudson's affairs through intercepted letters and whispers from industry insiders. Though later reinterpreted through a more compassionate lens, at the time, the scandal rocked Hollywood's carefully built image of Hudson as the perfect leading man. 16. Jean Harlow and Paul Byrne. Jean Harlow's marriage to MGM executive Paul Byrne collapsed in tragedy and scandal. Byrne's mysterious death, officially ruled a suicide, and was rumored to be linked to marital problems, affairs, and a secret second relationship Byrne had hidden from Harlow. The studio launched a massive cover-up operation to protect Harlow's career, burying evidence and silencing witnesses. Though Harlow wasn't blamed directly, the scandal cast a permanent shadow over her short, brilliant life. 17. Lawrence Harvey and Susan Cabot. Lawrence Harvey was known for extramarital affairs, but his relationship with actress Susan Cabot was the most destructive. Harvey was married, Cabot was vulnerable, and their affair involved emotional manipulation, jealousy, and secret hotel meetings. His wife eventually filed for divorce, citing his infidelity. The fallout tarnished both careers, becoming one of those whispered scandals Hollywood pretended not to see. 18. Greta Garbo and John Gilbert. Their chemistry was legendary on screen, because off-screen, it was real. Garbo and Gilbert began an affair while Gilbert was married, sparking a scandal that echoed across Hollywood. Garbo later backed out of marrying him, and Gilbert's career began spiraling downward soon after. Though she denied responsibility, insiders always believed the affair and its collapse contributed to Gilbert's emotional and professional downfall. 19. Mae West and George Raft. Mae West's affair with actor George Raft caused enormous turmoil because Raft was married and West refused to hide their relationship. Raft's wife threatened divorce, the studios panicked, and West capitalized on the scandal to her advantage. But Raft's marriage never recovered, and the affair cost both actors professional opportunities. It was one of the earliest examples of scandal shaping Hollywood contracts and public image. 20. Joan Crawford and Clark Gable. Joan Crawford and Clark Gable had an affair that spanned decades, even as both married and divorced multiple partners. Their chemistry was undeniable, often reigniting during film shoots. The affair destroyed Crawford's early marriage and strained Gable's later ones. Though they never publicly committed to each other, their on-again, off-again romance became a Hollywood legend, one built on passion, secrecy, and broken hearts left behind. Old Hollywood may look glamorous in black and white photographs, but behind the glowing lights were storms of jealousy, betrayal, and forbidden desire. These affairs didn't just damage marriages, they shaped careers, rewrote studio history, and defined the myth of Hollywood itself. If you want more deep dives into the scandals that shaped celebrity culture, make sure you're subscribed, because next week's video exposes a Hollywood affair so explosive it nearly shut down an entire studio.